Hello, and welcome to this demonstration on the basics of Epson BrightLink interactive displays. This is an overview of some of the important requirements and feature sets that allow you to get the most out of using your BrightLink. We will start with the remote control. The remote is designed to make it easy to do several basic functions such as power the projector on and off, select from different connected sources to display, adjust the projector volume, perform AV mute, which as the name suggests is temporarily allows you to mute both the audio and video on the projector without turning it completely off. You can also use the remote to calibrate your interactive pens and touch function if your BrightLink includes the touch module. We will start by turning the projector on. To do this, you press the blue button on the top of your remote. After a few seconds, the projector will begin emitting light and be ready to display. Next, when you're going to present and interact with your BrightLink display, it is important to connect a video cable and USB cable from the BrightLink to your computer. The video cable allows you to display PC content, and the USB cable is what enables you to interact with the display. Here, I'm going to connect an HDMI cable for audio and video. On some older PCs, you might still have a VGA cable, which transmits video only. The USB cable links the projector to your PC, turning the BrightLink display into basically a giant tablet on the wall. So remember to connect both these cables when you wish to display and interact with BrightLink. Now that you are connected, we can get back to the remote. Along the top, we have the source buttons. If you select Source Search, the projector will cycle through the connected devices attached to the projector and display it, if that device is on and sending a signal. If you know what device you want to display and you have it assigned to a specific button on the remote, you can hit that specific button. For example, if you have multiple devices connected through HDMI connections, such as a PC, a document camera, or a Blu-ray player, you can simply press the HDMI button to cycle through HDMI 1, 2, or 3. If you're using a VGA cable connection, select Computer. If your BrightLink and device are networked, you can switch to Network Display by pressing the LAN button. Next up are the volume buttons. Simply press the top button to increase the volume of the projector and the lower button to decrease the volume. As mentioned, there is a button called AV Mute. When you press this button, the image and the audio are temporarily disabled. However, the projector is still on. If you wish to return to the display, press the AV Mute button again, and it basically toggles on and off using the same button. And there, our image is restored. If you ever need to calibrate your BrightLink projector, you can use your remote to do this as well. Always start by calibrating the interactive pens first. To do this, simply press the User button on the remote, and you will be prompted by the display to start the calibration process. Before selecting Yes, make sure, and this is important, that the board is free of clutter and there are no objects within the display area. With this confirmed, select Yes to initiate the calibration. You will see a pattern displayed on the screen. The calibration process takes about 15 seconds, and the display will return to its normal state once the calibration is completed. If you have a touch-enabled BrightLink with the touch module installed, you can calibrate touch now that the pen calibration is completed. Before starting, be sure the board is free of clutter and objects. To calibrate touch, you again press the User button on the remote. Here, where you're prompted to yes or no, go to No. And from there, you're going to use the remote to toggle down and select Touch Unit, and then press the Enter button on the remote. You see the touch unit is powered on. You will go down to Touch Unit Setup. You'll see a message that says Installing Touch Unit without the bracket, and then again press Enter. At this point, you need to put the calibration markers that shipped with your BrightLink onto the board. So we set the markers directly onto the crosses that are displayed. Once the markers are placed, you're going to select Yes to begin touch calibration. Again, this is a process that will take about 15 seconds as the touch module adjusts to the board. You'll hear an audible sound as the calibration takes place. Once the calibration is completed, remove the markers and then touch the yellow circles on the board to check for accuracy. So I'll remove the markers and touch these yellow circles, and as I touch them, you see a highlighted circle appear around them. With this, the touch calibration is completed, and we're going to select Finish by hitting the Enter button to close the menu. Your BrightLink display comes with two interactive styluses. Each is powered by a single AA battery. The battery is located in the side of the pen. To insert or replace the battery, open the side cover and place the battery inside the pen. With the battery inside the pen, reattach the cover. To check that your battery has power, press the side button. You will see that the status light comes on. It's a blue status light. This light tells you that the pen has power. You do not press the side button when the pen is in use on the board. The interactive pen works by emitting infrared light from the pen tip that is tracked by an IR camera to the BrightLink. The IR is emitted when the pen tip is pressed firmly against the whiteboard. Because the camera tracks the light being emitted, make sure you're not blocking the line of sight of the camera. You can do this by making sure you're not casting a shadow on the board in the area where the pen is touching. For example, I come back to the board. If I have a shadow here, I do not want to be writing in the shadow. Once the shadow is removed, you can see the cursor moving across the board. When the pen is moved close to the board, you will see a floating cursor on the board. For some people, this is distracting. If you do not want to see the floating cursor on the board, it can be disabled through the projector settings. So we're going to select Menu on the remote, and then Pen Touch, and then toggle down to Pen Hovering. Then select Pen Hovering by hitting Enter, and then you would turn the feature off. Once it's turned off, go back to Return, and then Escape to leave the menu. The BrightLink pen basically functions like a wireless mouse. When you touch an object, it is basically the same as left-clicking on a mouse. So you take the pen tip and you touch to do a left click, in this case, to open the browser. If I want to do a right click, I simply hold the pen on the board for an extended period and then remove it. Your BrightLink interactive display can be used with or without a PC. When used without a PC, it will function as a digital dry erase board. So to access the whiteboard, I touch the whiteboard icon. Once the whiteboard opens, I have a set of inking tools that are built into the projector down here. I can select from various line thicknesses, a highlighter, or shapes tool. In this case, I'm just going to grab a blue pen and use a medium thickness where I can write on this PC-free whiteboard. After putting something on the board, you also have a selection tool that's built in that you can grab an object and then move it anywhere you'd like about the board. You can also add more pages as you go. So if I want to add a second page, I go here, and this would be page number 2. I go here, and I have page number 3. So as I go back, you can see the various pages that I have. Additionally, you can insert backgrounds. So there's several backgrounds to choose from. Here I'm using a plain white background, but you can also choose between a black board, a green board, and lined. So there's various graphs and other things that are built into the whiteboard. An important distinction between PC-free interactive and PC interactive is the ability to interact with content and/or save your work. Although PC-free does allow you to save content, you must have your BrightLink connected to a network drive, or use the optional USB cable to save your content to a flash drive. While PC-free is a convenient and useful tool for impromptu whiteboarding, using BrightLink while attached to a PC is where you'll find the greatest amount of utility. Attaching to a PC allows you to use BrightLink as an extension of your PC, providing full access to your applications, files, web browser, as well as favorite curriculum sites and tools. To use with your PC, you connect your PC to the BrightLink with a video cable for display and a USB cable for interactivity. You'll notice in the bottom corner that there is an icon that reads PC Interactivity and the light shows that it's on. That's because we attached the USB cable. If I was to unattach the USB cable, you'll notice that the interactivity goes to black, it shows that it's off, and those PC-free tools that you saw earlier appear at the bottom of the screen. So when I reattach my USB cable, the PC Interactive turns on again. BrightLink includes Easy Interactive Tools, a simple software utility available from the BrightLink support site at Epson.com. Easy Interactive Tools is available for PC and Mac and can be installed on as many computers as you like at no charge. After downloading and installing Easy Interactive Tools, and with your PC connected, you can use Easy Interactive Tools like any other program on your PC. You now have a whiteboard canvas where you can write, draw, erase, insert images from your PC, add, delete pages, create lessons, and most importantly, save your content to your PC where it can be used again and again. To access and control your PC applications, click on the whiteboard icon on Easy Interactive Tools and select either the annotation or mouse mode. If I select mouse mode, I can now use my pen or finger to scroll through content. And then if I want to annotate, I can select annotation where I have again a host of pens, black, red, blue, green. I can select the pen and the pen thickness and then begin annotating directly onto the whiteboard content. If I want to go back and remove the ink and scroll through, again, I just toggle back to mouse mode, where again, I can resume where I was interacting with the content. Built into Easy Interactive Tools, there's a whole host of tools that are really easy and convenient to use, such as we have a spotlight tool. So if you want to highlight on a specific area of the content, you can by moving the tool around like that. If you want to shut it down, you simply select the X button up at the top. We also have the ability to do a screen shade. So if you're going to show some content and you want to do a slow reveal of that content, you can do so using the built-in shade tool. We also have a whole series of videos on the Epson Easy Interactive Tools, so you can refer to those on our support site as well. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found these BrightLink basic tools useful. To learn more about BrightLink interactive displays, please visit us at epson.com/BrightLink.